Well, that's all from here in Wrexham now. Back to John in London.
Well, Kathy, here the Prime Minister has warned of a witch hunt around the swirling allegations. Our political correspondent Michael Crick is in Westminster. Michael, how did this come about?
Well, as you know, John, if you look on the internet, you'll see hundreds of extraordinary allegations, outlandish stories and claims about all sorts of political figures. And what happened today was that David Cameron was suddenly presented, ambushed, if you like, unexpectedly, by the presenter Philip Schofield and given a card with 5 names on it during an interview that he was doing on ITV's This Morning programme.
It's a momentary cursory glance at the internet. It took me about 3 minutes last night to continually find a list of the same names. I have those names there. Those are the names on a piece of paper. You know the names on that piece of paper. Will you be speaking to those people?
No, I think, Philip, this is really important, right? Because there is a danger, if we're not careful, that this can turn into a sort of witch hunt, particularly against people who are gay. And I'm worried about the sort of thing you're doing right now, giving me a list of names that you've taken off the internet.
Pretty astute political reaction there from the Prime Minister, but well, what's the reaction more generally been?
Well, a lot of people afterwards said that actually for a brief second it was possible, they thought, to read some of the names on Philip Schofield's list, although I have to say I looked at it several times myself and so on and focused in, and I can't say I managed to read them myself. But immediately after that, Philip Schofield issued an apology and said that if any viewer is able to identify anyone listed, I would like to apologise and stress that was never my intention. Unfortunately, Schofield said, there may have been a misjudged camera angle for a split second. And an ITV spokesperson said it is extremely regrettable that names may have been very briefly visible. Well, Ofcom, the regulator of ITV, have received a number of complaints today about that broadcast, including one from the Conservative MP Rob Wilson, who suggests that This Morning and Philip Schofield may have been in breach of the Ofcom broadcasting code.
Well, either way, the Prime Minister himself was trying to make a pretty important point, wasn't he?
He was. I mean, I think they're concerned in Downing Street that the government has, they feel, reacted pretty swiftly and decisively to the stories about Savile and the North Wales care home scandal, and that a lot of the focus subsequently has been on senior Conservatives and political paedophile rings. And they think that focus is wrong at a time when they're trying to take this issue very seriously indeed. But there's another issue here, and that is that 25 years ago, the world was rather different. It was an era before the year 2000 where homosexual acts between men were illegal under the age of 21, and many people in politics felt they had to keep quiet about being gay. And I think, and of course it was also an era when some people thought that, appallingly thought that homosexuality and paedophilia were closely linked, an attitude that is much less common these days. And I think that what David Cameron has been saying here is that the danger is that people who were trying to keep quiet about being gay are going to be accused of appalling crimes through all of this.
Michael Crick at Westminster. Well